What's up, everybody, and welcome to Vlog O'Clock. I thought that today, since it is 1 month since I've been doing my daily videos, that I would stop, give a little bit of insight into the future, if you will. That said, you should probably go ahead and hit the bell, hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe. You're gonna like this video. Why else would you be watching a video that is very clearly talking about the future of a YouTube channel, unless you were interested in the future of YouTube channels? I know my first video I did touch briefly on why I'm doing this. Basically, this was a challenge to myself, from myself, to basically upload a video every day this year onto this YouTube channel. Why would somebody do that? Probably because they're a little bit crazy, a little too ambitious, and they like editing video. And basically, that's why I'm doing this. I like editing video, and I thought that it'd be interesting to push myself this year to see how I would handle editing video every day and having to upload every day. And yeah, maybe every day is a bit ambitious for just jumping into this whole thing, but it's not like this is my first YouTube channel. Way back in 2015, right after I got married, a friend and I started a podcast that we then transitioned into YouTube. That was called The Weekly Flare, if any of you remember that. And then while we were doing The Weekly Flare, a different friend and actually a couple different friends started another show that they call Combo Starters. And then we kind of did some stuff together. And so then one of the guys from that show and I started a show called Geeks of Just Us. And we did Geeks of Just Us for quite a while. That was probably my longest running show, although The Weekly Flare may have beat it out actually, because I did do The Weekly Flare through a lot of that time also. We did The Weekly Flare was just kind of an experiment that my friend and I had about doing a show that was kind of a mix of technology and some like upbeat news stories. And it kind of evolved from there into being more of just a general whatever we thought was interesting show, which was a lot of fun. And then Geeks of Just Us was more focused on superhero content and Star Wars content, and we talked about what was going on in superheroes and comics and movies. And that was a lot of fun because it was a very focused show on what we were going to do. And so those were both weekly shows. And for a little bit, we split Geeks of Just Up into like 5 Geeks of Just Us up into 5 different episodes, so that we had content going up 5 days a week. That was because I decided to combine everything I was doing and try to make it like a whole thing. And that whole thing failed miserably. But I learned a lot because I was able to record The Weekly Flare and Geeks of Just Us and try and run both of those together, as well as trying to post articles to a website. So it was a really fun experience, even though it kind of went nowhere. I'll always look back on my time spent with The Weekly Flare and with Geeks of Just Us as something that I kind of wish was still going on, because they were such cool experiences. And maybe someday the friend who I was doing The Weekly Flare with will find his way back close enough where we could work something out again to do that show, because it was a ton of fun. Geeks of Just Us wrapped up because we actually ended that show to start a new show that we called Incredibly Moot, which was a name I came up with way back when I started The Weekly Flare, because I thought it was just a funny name. And that show kind of became more of a broad, we just talked about whatever we felt like was interesting that we could talk about. We didn't box ourselves in with just superhero content or just Star Wars content or just movies, but we kind of just talked about whatever was going on that we thought was interesting that week. Which brings us to this year with Vlog O'Clock. And this was my way of doing something that I could talk about whatever I thought was interesting that day and kind of give some feedback and opinions and show what I do day to day. And so Vlog O'Clock was born as my way to still do content every day, do content every week, talking about whatever is going on, and to push myself recording in 4K, which I was going to do in wide angle, because on the camera I had at the time that could do 4K, had a wide angle lens. Luckily, Rachel was so nice and got me a new GoPro for Christmas that could do 4K in a linear lens, so you guys don't have to look like a fisheye the whole time. And yeah, so I'm doing Vlog O'Clock. I'm a month in. This channel is going to mostly focus on what I'm doing day to day as spring rolls around and we start doing some more projects around the house. If you've watched any of my previous projects, you kind of know the kind of things I like to talk about and how I like to talk about them. This will be a lot different because it's just me talking to you without anyone here on camera to give feedback with. So that'll be interesting for me as more movies start coming out and more TV shows that I watch. Vlog O'Clock just missed Wonder Woman 1984, and we just missed the end of Mandalorian Season 2. So we do have The Promised Neverland going right now, which is great, and WandaVision is going right now. I'm just so far behind that I don't even know how I'm going to catch up and provide you guys all of that content. So I have to figure that out. But those are the kinds of things I normally talk about along with technology. And so I think this channel is going to be all over the place in terms of the topics, but it's going to be very focused on a communication between me and everyone on the other side of this camera watching. Anyways, thanks for watching this video about my 1 month update and where we're going and my past projects that kind of led me here. If you're watching and you were on one of my past shows, just know that I would love to start any of those old shows up again. Just let me know and we'll work out the details, because honestly, I just enjoyed recording those things. I enjoyed the time spent talking and discussing things. And I think in another life, if I hadn't been so science minded, I would have gone into radio or something, because I just enjoy having a discussion with people, you know? I don't know. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe it's not. I guess we'll never know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Peace!